Today, we're going to break down something really fundamental, something that pretty much governs our daily lives. It's called the law of input selection. And really, it's a guide to managing the most complex and most important system you'll ever own, yourself. So let's jump right in.
Okay, so it all boils down to this one single idea. Seriously, if you remember just one thing, make it this. What enters the system decides what the system becomes. And that's not just some abstract concept, right? We're talking about everything. The food you put in your body, the news you read, even the conversations you have. Every single input shapes who you are and how you feel. So why is this rule so powerful? Well, it completely flips the script on how we usually think about problems. Instead of always trying to fix things after they've gone wrong, we can focus on preventing them from ever happening in the first place. This is all about that first line of defense.
And this really gets to the heart of a struggle I think we all face. You know, that typical approach, the one on the right, is all about correction. We feel tired, so we just try to push harder. We get distracted, so we tell ourselves to just focus more. And where does that usually lead? Burnout and a whole lot of frustration. But look at the other side, prevention. This is a game changer. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about being the gatekeeper of your own system.
You know, it's a tough pill to swallow, but a lot of the time when we feel like we're failing, it's not because we aren't trying hard enough. It's because our inputs are just totally out of control. Ever have that brain fog or feel super reactive emotionally or just constantly tired? So often, that stuff starts right at the input gate because we're just overwhelmed by everything we've let in. Okay, so the big question is, how do we actually do this? How do we control our inputs in a practical way? Well, there's a really simple methodology we can use, a set of 4 simple filters to check anything before it gets into our system. And here they are: quality, timing, quantity, and frequency. Super simple, right? Think of it like a quick checklist. Before you eat something, before you read an article, before you watch a video, just run it through these 4 filters. It's a framework that is so simple, but believe me, it is incredibly effective. So first up is quality. And the question here is just, does this input make my system stronger or does it make it weaker? Think about food. Nutrient-dense food strengthens you. Ultra-processed junk food weakens you. It's the same with information. Clear, thoughtful information strengthens your mind. But just chaotic, noisy stuff, that just weakens it. It's a really straightforward choice when you frame it like that. All right, next up is timing. And this one is a little more subtle, but it is so important. You can have the highest quality input in the world, but if the timing is wrong, it can actually do more harm than good. I mean, think about it. Trying to cram some really complex information into your brain when you're exhausted at the end of the day, that's a good input at a terrible time. Your system just isn't ready to handle it. Okay, then we have quantity. This is the classic too much of a good thing problem. Even the best stuff can be bad for you if you overdo it. You can literally drink too much water. And you can definitely consume so much good information that you end up feeling completely paralyzed and overwhelmed. So yeah, the sheer volume of an input really matters. And last but not least, we have frequency. This is all about repetition. An input that's perfectly harmless once in a while, like a slice of cake or watching some silly video, can become really destructive if it turns into a daily habit. Repetition is powerful. Over time, it can turn something totally neutral into something really negative. So we've got these 4 filters. Now, where do we need to be the most strict about using them? The answer is crystal clear: the morning. That early morning window is absolutely the most critical time for input selection. Why? Because the way you start your day pretty much sets the trajectory for everything that follows. If you can protect your morning, you can protect your day. And the rules are actually super simple, but you gotta be firm with them. No digital inputs. That means no phone, no email, no scrolling the news first thing, and no reactive conversations, where you immediately get pulled into somebody else's crisis. When you do this, you start the day from a place of calm and build a real foundation of resilience, instead of just diving headfirst into chaos. All right, let's bring all this home and make it real for you. The point of all this isn't to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. The goal is just to be more aware so you can make small corrections along the way. And you can start doing this like today with a really simple daily audit. Here it is. This is the one question to ask yourself at the end of the day. Did I allow any input today that weakened my system, either knowingly or repeatedly? And listen, this isn't about beating yourself up or feeling guilty. Not at all. It's simply about recognizing the pattern. Because you can't correct what you don't recognize. And that really brings us to our final powerful idea.
So often we think of discipline as this huge battle, right? Resisting temptation, forcing ourselves to do things. But that's usually after we've already let the bad stuff in. Real, effective discipline isn't about fighting a harder battle. It's about being a better gatekeeper. It's about being smarter at the point of entry. Because in the end, discipline begins at the gate. So the real question is, what are you going to let in tomorrow?